because big business could not be trusted. They all got together and colluded to raise the price of steel or raise the price of anything they wanted to. And the big boys made out like bandits. And so this country had to enact antitrust laws to keep that from happening. This country has enacted anti-child labor laws. They had to enact OSHA, was the Occupational Safety and Hazard Administration, because of the abuses of business. Business is not to be trusted on its face. Certainly there are some corporations in business that are very trustworthy. Many are not. And this whole debate of whether or not we should privatize, or whether or not we should run government like a business. Are you out of your mind? I don't want nothing that has anything to do with the quality of my life and my family's life run like a business, because business has profit as the bottom line. 313-778-7600. I'm taking my shots here and there, but I want to hear from you even more on the phone line. Let's go to Andrew on line 6. Hey, Andrew, how you doing this afternoon? Thanks for calling.
Good. How you doing, Cliff?
Good.
I really appreciate the show. I've been doing a few other things. I've been listening for a while, but you hit it on the head about doing for ourselves. And if I could, and please, I don't want to offend anyone, but we need to start looking at some of these other programs, such as C-SPAN. They are telling us what's happening. They are telling you what's coming down the pipe. Mm-hmm. I'm listening at a program this morning, people from Silicon Valley. The lady said, what's going to happen? Anything that can be digitized will be digitized.
Yes.
Anything that can be outsourced will be outsourced. You're not going to make a living with back-breaking jobs anymore. And that leads into what I'm saying. I've been doing some voluntary work in schools since September to about the month of November. And it's a shame, Cliff. It is a shame what the teachers are going through. Parents are not doing the job. We are not doing our job. We have kids that are coming to school. Their main reason they're coming there is to play on the phone and socialize.
Mm-hmm.
You try to get in touch with the parents, and they take you 3 or 4 days to do that. Kids that come into class with no pencil, no paper, don't want any pencil or paper. Teachers complain, send the kids out, they beat the kids, teachers back. I'm telling you what I know.
Mm-hmm.
You got kids that are mainstream. They should not be mainstream. I know that was a problem where they did black kids like that. But there are some of them that cannot and will not pay attention. We are still socially passing kids along. We have kids at this school I was at that are in the 11th grade and cannot read at 3rd grade level. We have, when the teachers go and holler, the administrator said, well, your class is not entertaining. When you go to Wayne, you think they're trying to entertain you? They're not there to entertain you. They can make the classes a little more, happy or whatever, but they're not there. And if you don't come in a certain amount of days, you're not going to pass. We have kids showing up one day out of a week. You're not going to pass. So we have got to stop this bull about what the white folks have done to us. We had slaves learn how to read and write.
Yep. I will say this. I will say this, Andrew, and I appreciate your call a lot. First of all, you are speaking of the internal and external battle that I talk about all the time. Yeah, we do need to keep white folks and racism in check, those that are opposed to us and those that are assaulting us. But there is an internal battlefront, too. I say that all the time, and all the things you just described are exactly what that's all about. James Baldwin said it best. The problem with our young people is that they have been failed by their elders. And when we got young folks in school who are not there to learn, who are uninterested, who are unprepared to learn, that is some grown folks' fault. Somewhere along the line, I don't know if it's a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a teacher, or an administrator, or whomever. But we do have to turn that around. The question is, how do you do it? I think I can find enough people to agree that we need to do more for our children. How do you do it is the question. And that's where we need to come together and have some, come to Jesus meetings and some, and bluntly honest conversations about what needs to happen. And then we need to go ahead and do it. And you need some leaders, and you need some folks who are not afraid and who are courageous. So, look like you are itching to say something over there Miss Rachel, and I'm going to let you do that. What's on your mind?
Hey everyone, I just wanted to ask you, Uncle Cliff. I understand that we should get together. You're right about that. But we still have some people that are mad and that haven't healed from what they're mad about.
Yes.
So how can we come together and come up with a solution? And you still got people in the past, basically.
I think coming together is one of the reasons, people caught in the past is one of the reasons we need to come together. If you're angry, a lot of folks are angry. I think most black folks are angry. If you want to be honest about it, I think most of us are angry about something. All of us have gotten some race or racism or prejudice or something in our past that we haven't completely gotten over or will never get over. But I think the important thing for us to do is to talk about it, to put it out there and to deal with it and to set some parameters. I had a conversation last week and I got a couple of responses when I talked about it too. And I'll probably revisit it again sometime. But we need to focus on simple things like perseverance, like discipline, like commitment, like focus. We need to do those things for our young people and for ourselves. There are certain things that speak to human character, that speak to your worthiness. And they're not easy to always do. It's not easy to always be upstanding and forthright and giving to other people. That's not easy to do. But there was a time when we placed a premium on that and we were proud of that as a community. And I know that because I remember spending a lot of time around my grandparents and the way that people talked to each other and the way that people regarded one another. We need to get back to, we need to teach common courtesy to our young people. We need to teach them the value of hard work. And as a matter of fact, we need to teach them that if you work very hard and love what it is you're doing, it is fun. It is fun to work hard at something that you love to do. And we need to, promote that within our young people. But there is so much that we're up against. And this conversation can easily take me into popular culture, into rap music, into videos, into movies. Because so much of what young people are digesting there is the antithesis of what we want them to be. I'm so sick and tired of hearing these rap records now about I got money, I got this, I got that, you ain't got that, I don't mess with you. Who was that one that Cardi B? I'm still tripping on that. And they gave her an award. For what? What does that say to our kids? And just about every record that I hear the young people listen to now is somebody talking about how they coming up, they got their mind on their money. It's all about getting my money, forget everybody else. I love you haters. If you hate me, I love you because you motivate me. If you got to have somebody to hate you to motivate you, you got a problem. That is unhealthy. There's something wrong with that, all right? Okay, let me slow down and take at least one more call before I got to go take a break. And that next caller will be Francis on line 5. Hey, Francis, thanks for calling. Good afternoon.
Yes. I just had to call and say that I love that baby's call about these males calling them, crying that their street hasn't been plowed. And they don't take into consideration that these men who drive those big, heavy salt trucks, they have to dig themselves up first so they can get to work. And there's much more to it than that. And so, and he probably doesn't pay taxes anyway. And that's all I have to say.
I tell you what, thank you for the call, Francis. I'm going to leave it at that. I will comment on that just to say that, yes, we need to do a lot more self-searching. We need to do a lot more looking in the mirror. We need to be as diligent about making sure we do right as we do about trying to make sure other folks do right. And both are important. Both are things that we need to do. Let's see, I think I can sneak in one more quick call before we take a break. I got permission from Rachel, and Bob is on line 2. Hey, Bob, thanks for calling. Good afternoon.
Hey, when there's no respect coming out of the home, everybody thinks they're going to send their kids to these schools and it's the teacher's fault. It begins right at home. Disrespect starts right there. The mouthiness of these kids today and the parents, if they happen to be around, are so disrespectful to the people that's trying to teach. And that be yourself, myself, anybody that they come in contact with. And these kids run around with a cell phone. The youth commission that's in the city of Detroit try to get these kids to come just extracurriculars for reading. And they show up with a phone and stuff, and there's nobody going to learn anything when there's disrespect. And their adolescence goes right on into to the 11th grade, as one man spoke. Our schools are the key to our society of being a better place. Everybody's in hatred that they did this. I'm not buying the authority that one person in this country controls the city of Detroit. The city of Detroit's been in a cesspool for 60 years and in the decline. And everybody in the city of Detroit rises up and says it's somebody else's fault, but their own. They have to take credit for their own communities. We don't have a million vacant homes for no reason, and we don't have the money to support that infrastructure. When that lady called and says she shovels her driveway and takes care of herself, and she's 64 years old, should be a testament of intestinal fortitude to go out and know you can succeed at this, and nobody owes you anything, but you got to get off your butt, grab your bootstraps, and speak up for yourself, your own home, and the neighborhood will become better once that happens. But if there's no consequences for bad behavior, you push kids through school that they used to fail kids when I was in elementary school if they didn't attain a certain reading level and stuff.
Right.
But my God, you can't read the 3rd grade level in the 11th grade.
Tell you what, let me say this, Bob. We've run out of time. I appreciate your call a lot. I love what you had to say about respect. And respect for authority. I would add that in there too, because I run into far too many young folks who have no respect for anything or anybody. And I tell folks all the time, if you want to learn how to lead, first you got to learn how to follow. And that's something that our children have to know too. I would say that we should have expectations of others, but no more, no less than what it should be. I have expectations of government when it comes to fire and police and safety and cleanliness. No more, no less, but I do have that expectation. All right, we got to take a break right now. We will be back for the second half of the Cliff Russell Show after we pay a couple of bills. So don't leave us, folks. Stay with us. In fact, give us a call, 313-778-7600. I would love to hear from you. This is 910 AM, the Superstation, the future of radio.